welcome back. I am Erin, the Two Martini Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram, and this is my crafty channel about mostly cross stitch and a little bit of knitting. Although it's getting to be more and more knitting as the weeks go on. Anyhow, if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you back. It is Monday, November 23rd. Is it the 23rd? It is. It's Thanksgiving week here in the US. I am recording like midday on Monday, and I'm upstairs. We're doing a little juggling of time and space this week. The husband is off work. I mean, as much as he's ever off work. He did take a meeting this morning, but he's off work. The kiddos have school, have a couple days of school online, so they're always home. Dance is back to being fully on Zoom. We're like, at least most of the country probably should be, here in Washington. We are having some more restrictions on gatherings and what can be open and whatnot. So the kids are back on dance Zoom, so we're kind of juggling. I would normally during the day be recording downstairs. That's now been taken over by puzzle. Puzzles kind of rule our house between Thanksgiving and New Year's. We love doing puzzles, and since my husband's off work, he busted out the first puzzle yesterday. But since he's not working, I'm up here where I still have not hung stuff back up on the wall, mainly because this room is just unavailable to me most of the time. But the kids are going to be dancing in here later, so I'm sneaking in while I can. That means no cross stitch happy hour. I love these Tervis tumblers. Are y'all Tervis tumbler fans? They're our main glasses. We don't really have regular glasses, but so no cocktail, no cross stitch happy hour today. Happy hour will come later while I'm stitching, and I actually have a diet soda. I'm not normally a big soda drinker, but every once in a while you just kind of want the little like bubbly and caffeine. So lots of fun stuff to show today, and plans, and a little bit of haul since apparently everything had come in the mail last week. So let's dive right in. I did go through and read all your comments. I always read all the comments, and I give you a little heart. I respond to as many as I can. Thank you all so much for all the nice things you had to say about Becca popping in at the end of last week's video. She loved seeing all those comments. That was really, really fun for her, and I just appreciate all of the really sweet feedback about seeing Becca. She's our youngest. If you're new here, she's our youngest of three. We have 3 teenage daughters, although the oldest turned 19 in August, so she's not even going to be a teenager much longer. And then our middle is about to turn 18 next week. So then I will have 2 adult children. That's crazy to me. And then Becca, who you saw last week, is the youngest, and she'll be 15 in January. And I do have to say, I did not expect to enjoy parenting teenage daughters as much as I have. They're really, really fun as they grow up and come into their own and become like fully formed human beings. So thank you all so much for the great feedback on Becca popping in. I did have one question that I answered in the comment, but I thought I would answer here because she thought it might be a silly question. Not a silly question at all. I had talked on the Gather In about doing tent stitch on the grass. And I had a question about what's the difference between full cross and tent stitch, and what does that all mean? Here in cross stitch land, we have so many acronyms. I try to remember to say what they are, and there's just a lot of jargon. So if you're new, I remember thinking the same thing, and I didn't know what 2/2 meant or anything like that. So full cross is when you make a full X. You do both legs of the cross stitch. That's a full cross. If you only do the first leg, so for some people it might be going that way, for some people it might be going this way, depending on how you make your crosses. If you just do half, it's sometimes called half stitch. So half stitch and tent stitch they're the same thing-ish. I know that there are different methods to how you do it so it doesn't pull wonky on the back, and I am not enough of an expert to know that difference. If you put that search into YouTube, you'll probably find people who can tell you how to do your tent stitching so that it doesn't all pull one direction. But if you're doing just half the first leg of your cross, then that's a half cross stitch or tent stitch. If that's all you're doing, it's typically done with twice as many strands as you would do for a full cross to get good coverage. It is faster because you're only doing half. So a lot of people will use tent stitch on full coverage pieces. They'll do their big full coverage pieces in tent stitch. Stitch and Mommy comes to mind. She does a lot of her full coverage tent stitch. There's others but she's the one who popped to mind first, that will do their full coverage pieces in tent stitch, because then you're literally just doing half of the stitches and it goes faster. So I will likely be doing that big swath of grass with 2 strands. Everything else, the full crosses, I'll be doing 1 strand of floss for the full crosses, but I'll do 2 strands tent stitch for that big swath of grass on the gather in. So I hope that helps somebody who is maybe newer back to cross stitch. I love to see when people pop in the comments and say, oh, I'm back, or I'm new, or it's always fun because that's where I was like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was just getting back into cross stitch again, and there's a lot of fun stuff out there. So, okay, so let's get into it. I had a finish this week, not a fully finish. The fully finishes are, I mean, they never stopped piling up, but they're really piling up. I'm maybe kind of thinking that if I get motivated, this long weekend would be a good weekend to do some fully finishing. So what do we think? Maybe International Flosstube FFO weekend? Does anybody else have things they need to fully finish? So for anybody who's new, an FFO is a fully finished object. It's when you finish stitching a project, that's a finish. You finish stitching it. And then when you FFO it, you turn it into something that you can display, either framed or a stand-up or a pillow or something along those lines that you can display or use. Anybody else feeling like they need to do some FFOing? I definitely do. And the oldest will be home for a little bit. And she is really the sewer. So maybe I can rope her into helping me. We'll see. But for now, I have just a finish on Holiday Hoopla. The turkey holiday hoopla, I did get him finished. Yay! So this was last week. I spun this for my small. He should have gotten 1 day of stitching. He got 2 because he was so close. I just wanted to finish him, and it's almost Thanksgiving. But he looks fantastic. And I stitched him on, what is this? 36 count Patriots Brew by R&R. And I used, mostly called for, I did a little bit of substituting. All the information on my whips will be linked below. I put in a link to my spreadsheet where you can see all of my projects from when I just started that spreadsheet like 2 months ago. So it's what I had going at the time. Some of them have not been finished, but they're still in there. And all the information on threads will be in there. But he looks great. I do have one of the little 3-inch hoops that I think maybe Easter is in, not fully finished, but just stuck in there. So if I get to it, I might fully finish this guy in that hoop, but I need to get some more of the little 3-inch hoops for these holiday hooplas, because now I've done 3 of them. I did Easter, St. Patrick's Day, and now Thanksgiving. So now I feel like I really just need to, I'm a completionist. So now I really feel like I need to do the Christmas, the Valentine's Day one with the little Cupid was a little strange, but, oh, and there's a 4th of July one too. Yeah, they're super cute. I think I should just finish out the series. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that was my finish. And now I didn't have any knitting finishes. So now on to WIPs, works in progress. So these are projects that are in process, but not finished yet. There's a lot of them. Okay. So we'll start with the one I will just own up to right at the get-go. I did not work on full coverage this week. Should have been Harry Potter book covers. Didn't touch it. Didn't touch it. I don't know if I just got busy or I was just really enjoying the other projects I was stitching on this week. I did not touch Harry Potter book covers. So you'll see in plans. That's gonna be getting some love this week. However, I did work every day and actually for quite a bit on Hello Dear. And this is where I got to on Hello Dear. Doesn't look so good. Look, I need to put some white in, but I'm waiting until I use it elsewhere on this part. But other than that, I have the bunny almost completely done. I need a little bit of blue in the flower, middle of the flower too. So bunny's done. I've started on some other stuff. So I think this is almost all of part 3 finished. The final part dropped today. Today was the final part. I will put a picture of what the entire piece looks like now that all the parts of the mystery stitch along have been revealed. I will put a picture of that in here. So that's what it looks like. Annie Joyfield Stitcher was right. It is presents on next to the tree over. I'm gonna put my phone in my pocket because it keeps buzzing and I think you can hear that. Okay. There's a tree, there's deer, presents. I have done just only one modification so far to make this more wintry, less Christmassy and more wintry. So I gave the bird a little beanie hat instead of a Santa hat. And I'm going to take out those presents and I'm going to put in, oh, I should have brought it up with me. If you remember from Hello Pumpkin, which is hanging up downstairs in my house, there were a couple acorns in the tree. And since this little squirrel's holding an acorn, I'm gonna lift one of the acorns from Hello Pumpkin and put it in next to the tree instead of the presents. So because I want this to hang up probably all the way through March is my plan. So, but isn't that adorable? I am using everything. I got this as a kit from Sally at Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I think that my code still works. If now that you've seen the whole thing, I feel you. I'm sometimes that person too that I want to see the whole I want to see the whole mystery Sal before I pull the trigger on buying it. If that's you, no shame. You've now seen the whole thing. If you want it, I am like 99% certain that my code still works, and all that information with a link to it and my code will be down in the description box. I think it's Martini 10. So that is Hello Dear. Did you all see that Sally put out the teaser photos? Or at least she sent them. She sent them to me and I put them in my stories today. The teaser photos for the new Stitch Along Made to Create starts in January, and the DMC color palette is so bright and fun. It's all about crafting, and it's going to be a little longer. I think it might be like a 5 or 6 month stitch along. So I think the pieces will be a little smaller, or you'll have a little longer in between releases. I'm so excited about it. Pre-orders for the kit, and you probably pre-order the PDF pattern too, start on Thursday, and I have a code for that as well, which is Martini 10. So I'm very excited for the next Caterpillar Cross Stitch Stitch Along, and my goal is to have this one done before then and up in the house. So I want to have it up and displayed. I used it for a couple of semi-sane stitcher gories. Semi-Sane Stitchers is a Facebook group, and they run all kinds of fun challenges and events. They were closed for a while, but I think they might be open again. So I've linked them below. Go check it out. Lots of fun things going on in that group all the time. So I used that for a couple of Stitcher Gories prompts. So it got good work, and I'm going to do that again this week. Okay. My wheel spins, you saw the small, was Holiday Hoopla and got 1 day of work. My medium project that I spun was Welcome Foolish Mortals by the Witchy Stitcher. So this should have gotten 2 days of work, and I only gave it 1 because I used the second day to finish Holiday Hoopla instead. However, the 1 day I spent on this, I got some good amount of stitching in on it, so I felt good about the progress. So this is where I am. I am stitching this on a 16 count Ada in the colorway Phantom by Picture This Plus, which I think is the called for fabric, or it's at least what her model is stitched on. And there is my progress. So I am stitching this, instead of 310, I'm using the black Etoile. So you can kind of see it's kind of glittery, and I'm going to fill in the eyes with glow in the dark. So I got like this side of the face done and this eyeball all in while working on that. So there we go. I know I stuck it like right in the middle. There was a reason. I had reasons. I don't know what they are, but I had reasons for sticking this right in the middle. I feel like I'm going to use this piece over here to do one of the Madame Leota patterns from the Witchy Stitcher. I had thoughts and reasons when I did it. Couldn't tell you what they are now, but but that is Welcome Foolish Mortals by the Witchy Stitcher. Okay, and then the large project that I spun for last week that I used for a couple of semi-sane events, both Stitcher Gories and Connect 4. So it's got lots of good work, was Seeking Refuge by the Scarlet House. I started this in April for my High Tea start. High Tea is an event that Caroline Off the Grid Needle Arts does. It kind of changes up each year. Go watch her YouTube. She's fantastic. Yeah. So it's Seeking Refuge, and I will show you where I got to. I got good progress on this. I mean, I don't have another page finished, but I did get good progress. I am stitching this on a 36 count linen in Stars Hollow by R&R with called for threads. And here is where I got to. So I think the only thread changes I made is I'm using Anchor Black instead of whatever black is called for, and I'm using B5200 instead of, I think it calls for like Weeks Dye Work Whitewash. So this time I put in just a few more of these diamonds, maybe 3 or 4, and the lettering. I had maybe I think I had I had a little bit of the lettering in, words in, but I did the rest of it. The bird, I started these borders down here. So I love this piece. I love this piece. And when I finish this page, then I'm going to move up here and do this page, which is the big house. So that's Seeking Refuge. It's looking fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. Needle minder from Caitlin at Space Crafting. Go check her out. She has fantastic needle minders. And I just happened to be perusing her shop yesterday, placed an order, and she still has this one, Everyday I'm Muglin. So I know you can still go get that one if you like it. Okay. What else did I work on last week? On the 18th of every month, I try every month on the 18th to work on, can I get it out of here? we're gonna show you this way. Stars Bright by Lindy Stitches. I started this for my anniversary. My anniversary is in April, on April 18th, and I started it this year as an anniversary start, and so I try to work on it on the 18th, and I worked on it this 18th. I am stitching this on a 36 count linen in Frozen Fractals by Hand Dyed by Stephanie, using called for colors because Stephanie is a genius with color. So there's where I got to. I got this granny square in and some more of the words. And Carla of Rolodex, worked on this last week too, but she's ahead of me. She's already stitching the beautiful birds. I thought maybe I would get to the birds. No, because I think I have another line of words, and then the branch, and then the top of the bird's head on this page. But there we go. I love the different colors in the granny squares. They're really fun. And I did swap out like a couple. I say I use called for colors. I swapped out a couple of the weeks for Classic Colorworks, but they're like, I picked them out side by side. I am using some of the weeks if I couldn't find something comparable that was like almost an exact match, but all that information's in my work spreadsheet. So there's that, and then this. I don't know why I was feeling an urge to stitch this one day, and so I just whipped it out and stitched it, worked on it a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And that's Impossible Odds by Whistle Stop Stitcher. It's a free chart from her, and I started this the week of the election, and I'd like to have it done by Inauguration Day, so that is why I got it back out. And here we go. So this is as wide as it is. I mean, I could probably cut my fabric now. And this is, speaking of the fabric, it is, I'm going to tell you, a 32 count Storm Cloud or Stormy Cloud. It's one of the printed fabrics. So you can see it's just like a light gray, and then it's printed. So I got more of this like top red swag and down done, and a little bit more lettering. I just worked on this for like an hour or two one afternoon, probably just an hour. This is also, Mind also from Space Cat Crafting, and she still has that one too. So that one just kind of snuck its way in there. I was feeling the urge, and so, I just went with it. Okay, that is all the cross stitch knitting whips. Okay, last Tuesday, I had my sock knitting class. Last one is tomorrow. And last week we learned how to turn the heel. So this is a shadow wrap short row heel. It's not a heel flap and gusset, it's a shadow wrap short row. Really fun. That was so fun. I mean, I don't think it's perfect. I think I maybe made one mistake, but it looks good. It looks really good. And then our homework was to knit up the leg. And then tomorrow we're going to do the cuff, and she's going to teach us a bunch of stretchy bind offs. So there's my little sock. And I'm obsessed. All I wanted to do then the rest of the week was cast on socks, real socks for human people, not a stocking ornament. And I finally did on Saturday. But first, I wanted to get a little bit of work in on my lentilla and my grandmother's shawl. So here, I'll show you the lentilla first. So this is, do I have a picture? I'm sure I do. Yeah. So this is by Martina Bem Strickmich. And it's one of the variations on the Hitchhiker, and it is in that book I showed you last week of 20 Hitchhiker patterns. So I had already purchased this one, but it is in that book. So if you don't have it, I am knitting this with this Treehouse, this fingering weight yarn from Treehouse Knits in the colorway Seattle. It's so fantastic. And I'll link them below. I didn't get a ton done on this because I got distracted with socks, but you can see here's my little progress marker. So I did put in another ruffle. So there we go. And now I'm back over here and ready to do another set of the short rows for the ruffle. This is just really fun because it's so fun to pull out. And I start with the short rows, right? So I'll do a little thing in the short rows, and then you do a few rows back and forth on the body, and then you are all set up to do another ruffle. So it's really kind of fast and fun to just put a ruffle or two in. And I am calling this a knit along with Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher. So we both decided we wanted to do a lentilla and had some pretty yarn from Treehouse Knits. She's using, I think they're August. I think she's using one of their mystery yarns. Don't quote me on that. Pretty sure that's right. But I love all the Treehouse yarns, Treehouse Knits. So there we go. So there's the lentilla, and I'm in no hurry really to get that done. I really enjoy knitting on it, and I think it'll be the perfect thing for spring because it's going to be just pretty and lightweight, and it'll be great for spring here in Seattle. I am in a hurry to get this project done. And this is the shawl that I'm doing for my grandmother for Christmas. It is the Blue Jean Saturday by OC Knit Designs. And I didn't get all the way through the garter section, but I'm well on my way. And these garter sections, as it gets longer and longer, just take a little while longer. So there's my progress marker. And this is how much of the garter section I have done. I think am I halfway? Let me look at my little spreadsheet. Yeah, I'm maybe not quite, but I'm close to halfway through the garter section. And then I'll just have one more lace section, and I feel like these stitch up really fast. It might just be because it's so fun that I just go faster. And then I think it's just like 3 or 4 garter rows and bind off. So it's getting there. See, look how good it looks. And I got blocking pins to block it this week. So there we go. So there's Grandma's shawl. It will definitely, I think I'll have no problem getting this mailed off the first week of December. Very excited. Very excited to finish another project. Look at me actually finishing things. I say before I've actually finished it. But also to get to send my grandmother something I made. I'm very excited about that because I think that she will love it. And it's sometimes hard to buy for the grandmothers. Sometimes it's hard to buy things for them sometimes. So to be able to give her something handmade will be nice. Okay, so that leads me to socks. I held off. I did really good. I put in a ruffle on lentilla, which was one of my goals, was to touch that project. And I started working on the garter section. Got a good chunk done on that. And then I could not hold off anymore. And I cast on socks. And I have to give a huge, huge thank you to Cece because she has been holding my hand through this process. I've been messaging her endlessly. If y'all don't know Cece, you need to check her out. She's a knitter extraordinaire. She designs knitwear, and she's a cross stitcher, Flosstuber. I mean, not just because she shows knitting too. She's a multi-craftual YouTuber. And I always link, anybody I talk about, I link down below. So a link to Cece's Flosstube will be down below. She films with her kiddo, Dammy, and it's fantastic. Anyway, so the socks that I am knitting are, here, I'm gonna fold it up this way, are Cece's Vanilla Cappuccino socks, or vanilla latte. This is cappuccino, but I think This is like her basic sock pattern. I've already bought 2 or 3 other of her sock patterns. She does tons of different sock patterns that are really, really fun. But I thought, start basic, Erin. Let's see if you can manage a sock that fits a human being. And I think I'm doing pretty good. I am knitting it with this yarn that was gifted to me. It is Knit Picks Fleecy. It's their self-striping sock yarn, and it's in the colorway Captain Nemo. So, isn't that fun? And this is where I am so far. Look at this, guys. Look at that. So I did the toe. I'm knitting these toe up, and that's one of the cool things about, I think, almost all of Cece's patterns, sock patterns. She has directions for doing them toe up and heel down. So there's my toe, and I did those with Magic Loop on longer circular needles. And then, because this is how Cece does it, and I'm all for listen to the experts. That's one of my mottos in life. Listen to the experts. She uses these Haya Sharp 9-inch needles that she calls Zoom Zoom needles. So after I did the toe increases, I moved to these and have started now the foot section, but I haven't gotten very far. So now I'm gonna go back and work some more on my grandmother's shawl and then start working up the foot. Look at that. Self-striping yarn is kind of amazing, right? Like, it just does that. It just does that. I figured I wasn't gonna start with anything crazy, like I wasn't gonna do contrasting toe and heel. I would just use a self-striping yarn and a vanilla pattern, just regular socks, and see if I can achieve something that fits. I know Becca has been begging for socks. I figure these might be a little wonky, so I'm actually knitting these to fit me, and I have big old feet. So if you all are looking at that going, ooh, that looks like a lot. I cast on 12 stitches using Judy's Magic Cast On, and I increased until I had 36 on each needle. So, because I have a big old foot that's kind of wide. I wear a size 11. I don't know what to tell you about that. Just big old feet. Okay, so that's knitting whips. What did I do? I just caught myself on something. Oh, there we go. I fixed it. These little tiny needles, they do worry me though. They worry me that my stitches are just gonna, they seem pretty secure, but I don't want them to fall off. Okay, so we're gonna put them in there very gently. And this is the bag I showed you last week from Stitching the High Notes. All right, does that lead me to plans? Where am I? Let's see, plans. Okay, since I'm talking about knitting, we'll do knitting plans first. My plans pretty much are to finish that garter section on Grandma's shawl, maybe even start into the lace section and work on the socks. I do have another project that I kind of want to cast on. We'll see. I really would also maybe like to finish a sock and see if it fits. Okay, and I know I can try it on as I go. That's how I knew how many increases to do on the toe. So, and one of the things I'm learning, benefit of toe up socks. You can try it on as you go. So those are the knitting plans. Stitching plans for the week. I had been spinning my wheel. I'm not going to do any wheel spins this week because I have a few things on the calendar that need to get done and some other things I want to play along with. So this week tends to be a busy week in my month. Today is the 23rd. On the 23rd, I stitch on Letters for Mom. So I'm going to stitch on that today. Tomorrow is the 24th, which I typically stitch on Duke Clover. So tomorrow I'm going to stitch on Duke Clover. Tomorrow is also, I have a couple of whips with birthdays this week. And if you've been around for a while, you know I like to stitch on my whips on their birthday for 2 reasons. One, so that every whip gets touched at least once a year. And 2, when I'm stitching on it, it lets me know if I still love it and want to keep it as a whip. So I have 3 projects with birthdays this week, and I'm not going to stitch on any of them. Okay, so tomorrow, in addition to being the 24th and stitching on Duke Clover, it is also the birthday of Dog's Declaration, which I have stitched on quite a bit this year. So check. I love it. I'm keeping it. Check. The 25th is the birthday for Emily's house. I've also stitched on that quite a bit this year. Check. Now that I fixed the border, I love it. I want to keep it. Check. Okay. Which brings me to on the 25th is my friend Pam's birthday. If you are a member of the channel and join our Stitchy meetups, you know Pam. She's on, I'll link her Instagram below. I can't remember what I think it's maybe just her full name. I will link Pam's Instagram below. She is starting Tree of Magic for a birthday stitch along. I have Tree of Magic as a whip. So instead of spinning my wheel for a big project, a large size project this week, I'm just gonna work on Tree of Magic because it fits into Connect 4 tree, because my theme is trees. And I love that project. I haven't touched it since I started it, and I'm very excited to work on it for Pam's birthday stitch along. So if you wanna work on Tree of Magic, if you have it and wanna stitch along for Pam's birthday, the hashtag is Turkey Baby Birthday Sal. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'll link it below, because she was born on Thanksgiving. So instead of Emily's house, I'm going to be working on Tree of Magic. On Thanksgiving, I'm gonna have a new start. I'll show you in a moment. And then on the 27th, that is the birthday of Peace on Earth. So, and I don't know that I've worked on Peace on Earth this year. I think that I have, but I have it slated into Christmas, 12 days of Christmas stitching plans. So it'll get worked on in December. So check, check. So my actual plans for the week are Letters for Mom today, Duke Clover tomorrow, Tree of Magic, and I will, honestly, I'm probably going to stitch on that for I'm going to give it the full 3 days. So instead of spinning a small and a medium project, both Letters for Mom and Duke Clover, I think, are medium-sized projects, so they'll each get a day. I'm going to start a small on Thanksgiving, and then Tree of Magic will be my large project, and I'm going to work on Harry Potter book covers. So what's the Thanksgiving start going to be? It's in this awesome project bag from Diana. It is Kismet. The Amazing Animals, because it seemed like the perfect bag for Lindy Stitch's Autumn Royalty. I mean, they're not wearing clothes, but they are very regal animals that I think would have a portrait. Yeah? Yeah. So I am starting Prince of Pies on Thursday. I realized I was making my working copy and such yesterday. I ordered this from Stephanie's website, Lindy Stitches, and I got the floss pack because she had floss packs for the weeks, and I knew but had forgotten that these also call for some DMC. I only had 3 of them. I'm gonna have to see if I can find stuff that's close-ish for the rest of it if I need it. But I pulled this 32 count vintage tarnish silver by Lakeside that I had. It's gonna be tight, but I'm gonna put all 3 on this. So, because I will do all 3, but Thursday, Prince of Pies is getting started. So that's plans for this week. I have also been in major planning mode for December, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. 2 things going on in December. First, Stitchy planning wise, I am going to be doing the 12 days of Christmas stitching with the Black Needle Society. They just dropped a Flosstube video on their channel, so you should go check them out, Black Needle Society, where they show all of their projects that they're going to be doing for the 12 days of stitching, because they're doing a bunch of starts, I think. There's a lot of starts. I'm not sure it's totally 12. Everybody, all of them are doing all starts, but there's a lot of starting going on over there. Go check it out. Super fun. I am doing a mix of whips and starts, and I will show you next week. I'm going to film on Sunday this weekend so so next week's Flosstube video will actually drop on Monday the 30th. And I will have all my projects pulled because a few of them are still up in the air, and I'm letting my channel members pick. I'm letting my channel members pick 3 of my starts. And there's gonna be some whips, and there are gonna be some other starts I decided on, but I will have everything all pulled together to show next week my 12 projects. And then on Tuesday, Flossmas is starting. I am so excited. I have Advent calendars to open. I'm going to be recording every day. So you will get a video from me every day, December 1st through December 24th. Because of that, I'm not going to do a regular weekly update. I'm going to show you every day what I worked on the day before, knitting, stitching. We're going to open, they'll all be, I'm thinking like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, show you what I worked on the day before. And I made my own cocktail advent calendar. So we'll have a cocktail together. I'm actually going to film, cheater. I'm going to film the night before. So I'm going to film the night before so that you have the Flossmas video first thing in the morning. We'll have a cocktail together. I'm going to open advent boxes that I got. I have 1 stitching, 1 knitting, 1 tea, and I made my own cocktail one. And there's going to be a giveaway every single day to celebrate Flossmas and the season of giving and big 4,000 subscriber giveaway. So lots of fun plans. And I even have like a little fun idea for the giveaways. I'm going to be spotlighting other designers and shops and makers and all the places that you could go support with your dollars that are not big box stores this holiday season, and give away a bunch of stuff. I'm so excited. Okay, so that's plans. I decided to throw in a little, who does this? Is it Teresa Kitten Stitcher? What I wish I was stitching on? Jen Stitching? Somebody does a what I wish I was stitching on segment, and I decided to throw in a what I wish I was stitching on segment. I mean, all the things, but I did come across a couple freebies that are amazing that if you don't know about, you need to know about. And I wish I was stitching them, and I will be stitching some of them. Okay, so the first, I know a lot of you have seen this, but just in case you haven't, 2020 pandemic sampler. Free chart. Are you kidding me? Look at how amazing this is. First of all, 2 big, beautiful houses. Look at that stripy bird. Look at this amazing bird. I mean, this flower pot, that reindeer. I mean, there is just, and the border, this is a whole lot of amazingness. Whole lot of amazingness for free. It is from Christy Stephenson. I'm gonna hold it up right here. I will link her Instagram because that's where you get it. There's a link in her Instagram to get this file. This is amazing. I have plans to start this next year. This is gonna get started next year because, wow, that's amazing. Okay, so I wish I was stitching this right now, but I have other plans, and yeah, that's amazing. Okay, and then my friend Stephanie brought these to my attention. She's Cade's Crafts on Instagram and Flosstube. I'll link her below. You should check her out. She's a riot. These are actually from Aurifil, which I think they're an Italian thread company. I know that Quarter Shop does some of their stitch alongs with Aurifil floss, but on their website, they have a blog. I'll link it below with a couple of new free charts by Susan Aki. Susan Aki. I don't know how you pronounce her name. This is the first one, the smaller of the free charts. Pretty Quakers, Merry Christmas. I love this. It's like, this reminds me of like a little version of Holiday Quaker, which I have as a whip and you will see in 12 Days of Christmas Stitching. But if you don't have a Christmas Quaker, this one's fantastic. She also has a great big huge one that's a freebie. Boom. Check that out. I mean, stop. That is just amazing. These little guys, I think you could even do just as ornaments. These like 12 Days of Christmas, or you could do just the tree, right? Just the tree. That's still a lot of stitching, but that's amazing. Amazing. So that goes into what I wish I was stitching, or if I didn't already have a million projects, what I would start now is really where it's at. Okay, so those are both free charts. I will link them below. The rest of the stuff is not free. I bought it. It's been added to my stash. Okay. Oh, I did get a few things in this week. The first of which, look, I'm just going to show you this amazingness because it's peeping out of my bag. In a project bag. Is this not the most amazing thing? Here, I'm going to pull out Lynn's card. I bought this from Lynn X Stitches. Here is her Instagram. She does not have a shop. She's just on Instagram. I will link her below. She showed these bags. Everybody wanted one. She took a bunch of pre-orders. She's been sewing Ruth Bader Ginsburg project bags probably till her little fingers bled, but look at how amazing this is. Her construction is just fantastic. I mean, these are such well-made bags. Look at that. The little button pull and the trim and the inside fabric are quotes, or Ruth Bader Ginsburg quotes. This is fantastic. Thank you, Lynn. And she just has like the best. She knew it had been delivered to me and was like, hey, I want to make sure you got it before I had even been out to the door. Like, she was checking it. It did go on a little bit of a voyage with the Postal Service, but I wasn't worried about it. I knew it would show up eventually. Oh Joyous Day is getting kitted up in this for Inauguration Day start. Love it. So that's from Lynn X Stitches. Fantastic. Also in what I consider to be Project Bagness, I could not resist this sleeve from Love You More Studio Co. Because look, it's donuts and coffee and fall themed. I mean, do not worry. Do not worry. This is the larger size. I can't remember if it's full or standard. I think this is their full size sleeve and the standard size sleeve is a little smaller. So this fits like a full 8.5 by 11. So you can put a full page chart and your project in there, no problem. And then the smaller size fits like a Kindle. I mean, these are meant to be book sleeves. I put projects in them. So, but this one's so nice because it's squishy and flannelly, and the inside is this like awesome like hunter green and black check. I feel like the Hands-On Design Chalk Talk series is going to have to go in this, even though I know that they're seasonal and this is kind of fall. I don't care. I have the autumn one started and the winter one is almost here. Very excited. I think that's a January start though. Are we starting that in January? There's a group for that hands-on design seasons and chalk series. So that's it. Love you more, Studio Co. I love their little tag up at the top. I will link them below in case you need yourself some book sleeves. What I could put in my book sleeve is my print copy of Pinch Needle and Primitive Stitcher arrived. I had already I'd been stalking the website for the digital version because if you purchase a print version, you also get digital access. So if you want a full flip through of this, I feel like maybe people have shown it already. If you want a flip through of this, I will be happy to do that. Just let me know and I will film one. Love this one. This is going to be my first start, Heart and Hand. There are to me, this magazine is worth every penny. Every penny. It's fantastic. There's so many good things in it. I also do need to show you in case you have not seen it. Abby Top Knot. Look at the genius. I mean, besides the fact that this is adorable, that donkey, so cute. Look at the genius finishing on that. Love her. Love you, Abby. Okay. There's lots of goodness. Lots of goodness in here. There's Barbara Anna, of course. Has a piece in here. Lindy Stitches has one in here. Just fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. What else is in my bag? I think I have a couple other things. I do. I got my November Fluff and Doodads kit from Crazy Annie Stitching. I just got into this club for the last couple, but signups are here for 2021. So I'm signed up. I don't know if there's more spots. Check out Crazy Annie Stitching on Facebook. I'll link it below. I'll link it below for y'all because I love you. I love you. I'll make your life easy. But this Fluff and Doodads Club comes with kind of a color theme kit, and it's all the stuff you need to finish a small. So you get some quilting fabric, Moto quilting fabric, and then these are all lady dot trims. So there's a lace, there's a little chenille, there's a ribbon, there's some little buttons, some finishing pins. So it's all the stuff you need to finish up a little small pillow or stand up or something like that. So I need help on the finishing front, let's be honest. Okay, and the last thing that came in the mail was my fabric of the month from Be Stitch Me. And in my package was a little surprise that I thought was a mistake. I emailed Brandy, I'm like, I don't know who these are. She sent me the silks of the month, just as a little extra, as a huge extra. And I thought, she has a silk of the month club in addition to her fabric of the month. And these are the silks of the month this month. Oh, look how good those are. I was all I emailed her, I was like, there were some silks in my bag. I don't know who they belong to, but let me know and I'll either send them to you or send them back to me. But if you have extras, I'll just pay you for them. And she said, oh, no, they were an extra little freebie. Cacao, fantastic. Black walnut, that's a fantastic color. Cinnamon, naked, how good would that be for lighter skin tones? Biscotti. And I feel like they go perfectly. I don't know if she does this on purpose. She probably does because she's fantastic with color, but I feel like they go perfectly with the fabric. If you haven't gotten yours yet and you don't want to be spoiled, look away. I get from Brandy a 32 count back quarter of linen in the neutral colorway, and this month is called Peanut. Look how good that is. Look how good that is. Her fabrics are so perfect. And then, see, you're gonna see what I mean. Look at this. Come on. Look how good. those silks are with it. So don't I just feel spoiled? What a great little extra gift. Thank you so much, Brandy. I love her silks. And I don't know how much is on here. 10 yards. 10 yards. 10 yards of each of these. Those will get some good use. Those will get some good use. Okay. So that's it. That's everything that came in the mail this week. Always fun to get mail. I've been doing a little kitting up. So there will definitely be packages coming this week. Been kitting up things for the end of the year and for 12 days of Christmas stitching. Gonna be some fun things happening. So that's it. That's all I have for y'all this week. No giveaway because I have been prepping for big Flossmas giveaways. I was behind on mailing giveaways and they all went out last week. So I was like 3 weeks behind. If you've been waiting for something from me, it's on its way. And actually I had it all together and it was in my purse and I thought I had mailed it. I have one of those big old like mom purses, right? And then last week I was cleaning out my purse and was like, I never dropped those at the post office. They went out now. So all the giveaway stuff is caught up and I'm ramping up for Flossmas giveaways. So that's all I have for you this week. Hope everybody is staying safe. Let's all just stay home, stay safe. And if you're in the United States, I hope you have a wonderful holiday week. And if you are one of my wonderful international friends and followers, I hope that you are staying safe and are having a wonderful end of November heading into the end of the year holiday season celebration. So even though things are crazy out there, we can still celebrate. We just have to, do it a little virtually this year. It won't hurt us for 1 year. So hope everybody's doing well, and I'll be back next week for kind of like November wrap up and getting ready for Flossmas. Cheers.